ahead and call this meeting to order. I want to say first that we're in a position where a lot has changed since our meeting here last month, but our work does remain the same. We come here to do the work of the people of McLean County. And that work includes ensuring departments are adequately staffed, services are fully delivered, and community needs are met. To effectively operate and effectively meet and equitably meet the interests of those we serve, every citizen of McLean County is represented by 2 individuals from their district. So that is what we're here to do today. If you will rise for the invocation. As our board gathers here to make decisions affecting the people of McLean County, I ask that you lift your heads and open your eyes and your hearts. Our most serious duty is to look to the community we share, the examples we make, and the legacies we leave, and that should be our greatest and most courageous and noble intention. In this time approaching harvest and in our shared space of exchange, let us summon the desire for meaningful impact. Like our farmers who have tended their fields with care to feed the world, let us nurture the seeds of change that we plant in our discussions. Let us cultivate a sense of responsibility for the mark we leave on this world, ensuring that our words, actions resonate far beyond these walls. Thank you. And now for the pledge. And next up, we have roll call. Madam Clerk.
Beverly Bell. Here. Lindsay Bloomfield.
Present.
Leah Klein.
Present.
Chuck Erickson.
Present.
William John Friedrich.
Here.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Here.
Val Lehman.
Present.
Catherine Metzger.
Present.
Adam Reeves.
Here.
Jim Rogal.
Here.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza.
Present.
Susan Schaefer.
Here.
James Sollner.
Here.
Jeff Tompkins.
Here.
George Wendt.
Present.
Crystal Abel.
Here.
Jack Abraham.
Present.
Present. Corey Byrne.
Present.
Okay.
Okay. Now that we have a quorum physically present, we have a request from one member to participate remotely. Where do we have that? So having conducted the open roll call, and we've got the form present, Member Abraham has requested to participate remotely under County Board Rule 2020 in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Notice was received by Member Abraham in accordance with our rules. Does anyone object to allowing Member Abraham from participating remotely?
Yes.
So we have a yes from Member Bloomfield. And Member Schaefer? Okay.
May I ask a question?
Yes,
Has he met the criteria as far as the illness? Or?
he has. He has met that criteria. And so if there is an objection pursuant to state statute, it takes a motion, a second, and a majority vote of the members present to approve the request for remote attendance by Member Abraham. Is there a motion to allow him to attend? Motion by Member Abel. Is there a second? Second by Member Klein. All in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call vote has been asked.
Repeat.
I'm not sure we've had a debate on this before. Mr. Sierra?
It is a debatable motion.
Okay. So, yes, Member Klein.
Thank you. Ooh, sorry. You were warned about that. Thank you, Chairperson. I just would like to make a note. The impulse to be
Who's talking?
partisan and to play games right now I know is quite high. I'd like to remind my colleagues of how many times we have approved remote attendance by several members of the Republican Party in the last several months, even when there were very difficult issues on the agenda. and we allowed those individuals to participate remotely. And I'd like to remind everyone that the ultimate vote for chair is not affected by Member Abraham's absence in this room. Thank you.
Anyone else? Member Schaefer? Can you put your mic on? Yeah. Yes, yes.
Member Klein, could you explain what you meant by Member Abraham's not affecting the vote for chair today?
I can explain in my own words, but I think it's probably better for the civil versus state's attorney to answer that question. It's a legal question. It's my understanding that according to the rules, that there need to be 10 votes for chair, no matter how many people are present in the room.
Yeah. Mr. Sierra?
Under the rules to elect a chair at the initial meeting, which is the only rule we have in our code right now, we do need a majority of the entire board to vote to approve a chair. In the temporary rules that have been approved by the executive committee on Monday, it's also in those rules that we would need a majority of the entire county board to approve a chair. Those rules are subject to approval by the entire board today, but I don't take any position on whether those rules are adopted or not.
Just a point of clarification, your opinion is not about the temporary rules, but the rules about electing chair supersede at this moment, right? Whether or not we pass the temporary rules for electing a temporary chair to adjudicate the actual election, the actual vote for chair needs to be the majority of the board members, whether they are present or not, according to the law.
State statute doesn't speak on the procedures for electing a chair. That's up to the board itself. The only rule in place at this moment is that under 20-10, organization and officers in the county code. That refers to a vote taken at the initial meeting of the county board. I think if there are no additional rules in place, that is what we would default to. Under that same section, Part I, it indicates the procedure for filling county board chair vacancies. There aren't many rules in that portion, only that the election has to be held within 45 days after the vacancy occurs. I believe the purpose of the temporary rules was to construct further rules for the vote that's going to occur tonight. That's why they were put forward, so that that we would have more clarity on the procedure that the board will follow for that vote.
For the election of chair or for the election of temporary chair to adjudicate the process of electing the chair? It's my understanding what executive committee approved was the process of electing the temporary chair for the purposes of carrying out the election for chair.
The rules that the executive committee approved address both the election of temporary chair and the election of chair itself. There are rules in there about each nominee being able to address the body, how many rounds of voting would take for chair. So those rules apply to both the vote for temporary chair and the chair of the county board.
There may be others who have questions, but I'm not sure that that's been very clearly stated. Mr. Sierra, am I correct in saying that a majority of the currently sworn-in members of the board, which there are 18, the majority are required in order to elect the chair, not the majority of those in the room?
Under the current rules as they stand, yes. If additional rules are adopted, that can change.
Member Schaefer?
Can you explain the difference in our rules for OMA and the state rules for OMA?
So the county board rule under section 20-20 indicates that 2/3 of the board must vote against someone participating by remote attendance. That is not consistent with the statute of the Open Meetings Act, which requires that a majority of the county board approve someone to participate by remote attendance. So in effect, our county code only requires that 1/3 of the board approve remote attendance. So the two are not consistent.
And therefore, which one is in effect?
State statute will prevail over a county board rule. I would say that it is also part of the state statute that the majority must approve, and it has to also be consistent with the county board's rules. Our rules are not consistent with statute, so I don't know that we can follow both parts of the statute and allow remote attendance at this time.
Point of information, Madam Chairman.
Yes,
Am I to understand correctly, the rules have not yet been adopted by this body?
they have not. Any other discussion? I think that Member Klein made a good point, is that we have always accommodated anyone who is sick or had a family emergency. And I think that it would set a poor precedent to deny that for this evening. Is there any other comments? If you will take the roll call vote, Madam Clerk. So this is a vote to allow Member Abraham to participate remotely. Yes is to allow.
Okay.
Allow him.
Beverly Bell? Yes. Lindsay Bloomfield?
No.
Leah Klein?
Yes.
Chuck Erickson? No. William John Friedrich?
No.
Elizabeth Johnston?
Yes.
Val Lehman?
Yes.
Catherine Metzger?
No.
Adam Reeves?
No.
Jim Rogal?
Yes.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza?
Yes.
Susan Schaefer?
No.
James Soldner?
No.
Jeff Tompkins?
No.
George Wendt?
No.
Crystal Abel?
Yes.
Jack Abraham?
Yes.
And Corey Byrne?
Yes.
So is it 9-9?
Member Metzger.
Point of order. Can Member Abraham vote on this?
I believe you.
No, he's not participating in the meeting until it's been approved by
Julie,
the
do you have a
board.
9-9 vote? Were you counting? Okay. So he cannot vote?
That is
So it's a 9, no, 8, yes.
that is correct. So the motion fails. Jack, thank you for offering to be here tonight, and I think that at this point we will have to let you go. Okay. What I would like to do is take a moment, per our county rules. Any chair may elect to recite part of our county code at the beginning of each meeting. Within our code, we have a section on decorum. So during the proceedings of a county board and all county board meetings, decorum, defined as behavior that is calm and polite, shall be maintained at all times by members, interested parties, the public, and the media. Decorum includes treatment of board members, staff, county staff, and others in attendance with civility, recognizing that others may have different perspectives and allowing other members and visitors recognized by the chair to share their views without interruption. The use of vulgar or obscene language and/or gestures will not be tolerated. Moving on, we have item 5, appearances by members of the public and county employees in reference to an agenda item.
We've had one request to speak. If we could have Darren Coomer please come forward. Darren, if you could come up here where Julie's setting up the boom mic, please. And you will have 3 minutes.
Well, you don't have to get super close. If you stand about here, you should be okay.
Sounds good. Hey there. This is more intimidating than I was expecting it to be, but I'll keep it short. Basically, my name is Darren Coomer. I've lived in District 5 for going on 8 years now. I'm a conservative, and I am here to say that within the spirit of integrity and principles that I think we should, I personally would support Elizabeth Johnston for the chair. I think that she's been very reasonable and very non-radical, and I just feel like, given the circumstances of what just happened, this might be a waste of time, me saying this, but I just feel that it's important to say what you think and what you feel, and it would be nice to get representation from a Republican point of view in my district. I do not have a Republican perspective coming from my district now. And I understand the politics involved, I get it, but for me, I just feel like this is important that we do it this way. We have county jail that is dangerously short-staffed right now. They're working 16-hour days, which is dangerous for both the COs and the people within the county jail. Let's not forget that not everybody in the county jail is guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty. So now we have potentially innocent people in a county jail that are in a dangerous situation. And there's roads and bridges, everything else like that, the wasteful spending. I just would like people to, I would advise against mirroring the politics of Springfield and Washington, D.C., because I think that McLean County is better than that. We have all the opportunity in the world with 2 interstate systems, the Amtrak, this airport, these beautiful parks. I just think that we can get all accomplished. I would prefer it from a conservative perspective, but let's not forget Elizabeth Johnson is not a radical. She's not a far leftist based on what I've seen, and that's really all I have to say. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coomer. Moving on, item 6, we have the consent agenda. What say you? Is that a motion, Mr. Regal?
All right, mine? All right. I'd like to remove item 6B1 from the consent agenda.
Thank you. Let's, if I can get a motion and a second to get it on the floor. Member Klein, a second by Member Solner. And so you wanted to pull item 6B1 from the agenda, is that correct? Any other amendments to the consent agenda? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? It passes. Just a reminder that the approval of the bills was included in the consent agenda, and if you have any questions, please reference that. Next up, we did approve in this consent agenda 4 proclamations this month. So if I could have Member Rogal come for the Hunger Action Month proclamation.
All right, if there's any representation of people from Christ Community Church in Gridley, Union Mission Baptist Church, School Street Food Pantry in Normal, Mount Pisgah Church, Salvation Army, the St. Vincent's de Paul Society in Bloomington, Easter Illinois Food Bank, covering McLean County, the Illinois Extension Office, or McLean County Community Health Council. If they could come up here and be up here while I read this. McLean County Board proclamation proclaiming September 2023 Hunger Action Month. Whereas, according to Feeding America, the COVID-19 pandemic has most impacted families that were already facing hunger or are one paycheck away from facing hunger. And whereas food insecurity is associated with numerous adverse social and health outcomes and is increasingly considered a critical public health issue. And whereas in McLean County, 8.5% of the population, or 14,520 individuals, experience food insecurity. And whereas families struggling with food insecurity may be faced with unemployment, poverty, lack of transportation, and income shocks, which can prevent adequate access to food. And whereas nutrition-related conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure significantly decrease America's lifespans and quality of life, leading to millions of deaths per year and millions sicker, more disabled, paralyzed, and cognitively impaired. And whereas increased access to healthy food enables McLean County residents of all ages, ethnicities, and cultures to lead happier, more productive, and more active lives, helps children to develop to their fullest potential, and supports thriving local economies. And whereas this board desires to join in the fight to end hunger by working towards a future where no child need go hungry and where all McLean County residents have access to healthy and affordable food. Now therefore be it resolved, the McLean County Board commends the Christ Community Church in Gridley, the Union Mission Baptist Church in Bloomington, the School Street Food Pantry in Normal, Mount Pisgah Church in Bloomington, Salvation Army in Bloomington, the St. Vincent de Paul Society in Bloomington, the Easter Illinois Food Bank covering McLean County, the University of Illinois Extension, and McLean County Community Health Council, and others in our community who work to improve food security through partnerships and increase access to fruits and vegetables in McLean County. And be it further resolved by McLean County Board that the month of September 2023 be designated as Hunger Action Month in McLean County, adopted by the McLean County Board this 14th day of September 2023. Got copies of the proclamation for everybody. Or from would anybody like to say anything?
I would just like to say on behalf of University of Illinois Extension and the McLean County Community Health Council, that's a mouthful, thank you to the board for recognizing the significance of Hunger Action Month. We have over 14,000 individuals in McLean County who struggle with food insecurity, and this is a major public health concern for our county. So we appreciate your support in bringing awareness to this issue. Thank you.
Thank you for letting us come and be recognized. On behalf of the Salvation Army, it is exciting to know that there is a need and that the community comes forward and helps with that need. I am the cook and the kitchen manager there, so I see people on a daily basis that are hungry, homeless, and in need. In the month of August, we served 3,207 meals. This time last year, our number was 2,044 meals. It's risen every month by at least 50 to 100. So the need is out there. I think COVID impacted it a lot, and I am just one of many at the Salvation Army who work daily to help those people that are in need. We also have a food bank. That food bank has seen an incredible increase in people coming in, and it's just a side note. It's interesting to know that most of the people that are being served at the Salvation Army Food Bank are 50 and above. the average is. There are also many children that are reached through the food bank also. We do, last month they served 306 families, which is over 900 people. So thank you very much for bringing awareness to this. And we'll just get out there and fight that battle and keep it going. Thank you very much.
I'm with St. Vincent de Paul, and we are right north of the downtown area. We're open on Mondays and a couple of Saturdays each month. On this a week ago Saturday, we served over 100 people on a Saturday, which is our biggest group. That's 100 households. And during the month of July, we served 360 households each week. There are many people in this area that are coming for food, and I am so thankful to Eastern Illinois Food Bank and to Midwest Food Bank and also to the grocery stores where we pick up food for what they are giving to us. Also, thanks to everybody who brings us clothing all the time, because we also serve a couple hundred people each week coming to get clothing. And we always, one of the things right now is people coming in for black pants because they're working at Rivian. And so they have to have black pants. And so if anybody's got a lot of black pants hanging around, we can use them. So, and believe me, on Mondays, we've got people, we're still doing the drive-through, that people just drive through with their cars, give them an option of the groceries from our garden and other community gardens, as well then as so many other things. And we've got a wonderful group of volunteers, at probably about 100 each Monday, off and on between the clothing pantry and 2 shifts on the food line. So the community has been very supportive, and we do appreciate it, and our clients definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
On behalf of the School Street Food Pantry, we're very grateful for this proclamation. There are too many of our brothers and sisters that go hungry in our community. We're particularly thankful that you have included in the community a forgotten population, that of post-secondary college and trade school students in our community. It's might be a bit of a surprise to you, but about 1/3 of our students who are pursuing college education consider themselves food insecure. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kelly Daly from the Eastern Illinois Food Bank, and we're honored to be here tonight and very appreciative of this recognition. Like so many others have said, bringing a voice to this work is really important. We work with 11 agencies, a lot of them here in Bloomington Normal. On a regular basis, we put the food in food pantries and the soup in soup kitchens. That's what the Eastern Illinois Food Bank does, and we serve McLean County here. In addition to that, we've just added our mobile distributions and added 8 stops in towns outside of Bloomington Normal to ensure that we're bringing that food to where the neighbors are so they have better access. That it is our hope that every neighbor has access to the food assistance that they might need to get them through their daily struggles. If there's food on the table, you have a lot of problems. If there's no food on the table, you only have one. So that's what we're here to help with, and we appreciate this recognition more than you know. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Up next, we have the Rail Safety Week proclamation. I believe that is Member Friedrich.
Are there any representative here from any part of the rail industry? There might have been an absent, I was told, just double checking. McLean County Board proclamation, Rail Safety Week in McLean County. whereas rail safety is to be held across the United States from September 18th to the 24th, 2023, and whereas 2,194 rail grade crossing collisions resulting in 803 personal injuries and were responsible for 274 fatalities in the United States during 2022, and whereas 1,208 pedestrian trespassing casualties have occurred in the United States, resulting in 658 pedestrians being killed and another 550 injured while trespassing on railroad property right of way during 2022, and whereas educating and informing the public about rail safety will reduce the number of avoidable casualties and injuries caused by incidents involving trains and citizens, and whereas the International Association of Chief of Police, National Operators Lifesaver, United States Department of Transportation, and all local, state, and county and railroad law enforcement officers, first responders, and railroad corporations committed to partnering together in an effort to educate at a national level all aspects of railroad safety, to enforce applicable laws in support of National Rail Safety Week. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the McLean County Board declares September 18th to the 24th, 2023 as National Rail Safety Week in McLean County and encourages all its citizens to recognize the importance of rail safety education, adopted by the McLean County Board this 14th day of September, 2023.
Thank you, Bill. The next proclamation is the Farm Safety Week by Member Solner.
Good afternoon. Brian Dirks, President of the McLean County Farm Bureau. McLean County Board proclamation proclaiming September 17th through 23rd, 2023 National Farm Safety and Health Week. Whereas the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics indicates the agricultural sector remains the most dangerous in America, with 573 fatalities, or an equivalent of 23.1 deaths per 1,000 workers. And whereas the fall can be one of the busiest and most dangerous seasons of the year for the agriculture industry, with more farm equipment and trucks operating on roads as farmers work to harvest crops. Whereas the third week of September has been recognized as National Farm Safety and Health Week, with annual promotion initiated by the National Safety Council and has been proclaimed as such by each sitting president since Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1944. Whereas the 2023 National Farm Safety and Health Week theme is Protecting Agriculture's Future, with daily themes. Monday, September 18th is Tractor Safety and Rural Roadway Safety. Tuesday, September 19th is Overall Farmer Health. Wednesday, September 20th is Safety and Health for Youth in Agriculture. Thursday, the 21st is Confined Spaces. And Friday, the 22nd is Safety and Health for Women in Agriculture. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the National County Board, by the McLean County Board, that December 17th to 23rd, 2023 is designated as National Farm Safety and Health Week, and this board reminds all citizens to slow down, pass with caution, and share the road safely. Adopted McLean County Board this 14th day of September, 2023. I wanted to mention this is particularly close to my heart. As a teenager growing up on a farm, I had a farm accident where I ended up with a broken ankle. So I had to fight through the winter with crutches all winter. So it happens, and it happens really quick. So, Mr. Dirks, congratulations. You want to say something?
On behalf of the McLean County Farm Bureau and all the farmers, we thank you for recognizing the importance of farm safety. It's just not one day, it's just not 1 week, but farm safety is very important. Like Jim mentioned, we do have a shared friend that passed away, got electrocuted on the farm, and he was young. And God bless Bruce Bedell. So safety is very important. So thank you, Member Johnston, for this, and the board.
The last proclamation that we have is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, as requested by Mr. Nelson, I believe, in our IT department. So the McLean County Board proclamation support of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month of 2023. Whereas the County Board of McLean County, Illinois recognizes it has a vital role in identifying, protecting its citizens from, and responding to cybersecurity threats that may have significant impact to our individual and collective safety and privacy. And whereas critical infrastructure sectors are increasingly reliant on information systems and technology to support financial services, energy, elections, telecommunication, transportation, utilities, healthcare, and emergency response systems. And whereas monitoring accounts, being conscientious of what is shared online, keeping computer software up to date, creating unique passwords and changing them regularly, installing antivirus programs and firewalls, engaging in cybersecurity training, and using mobile devices safely are ways to protect oneself from phishing, viruses, malware, and loss of sensitive data. And whereas cybersecurity education and awareness is crucial for everyone who connects to internet, and maintaining the security of cyberspace is a shared responsibility in which each citizen has a critical role to play, and awareness of computer security essentials will improve the security of McLean County government's information, infrastructure, and economy. And whereas the Stop, Think, Connect campaign serves as a national cybersecurity public awareness campaign implemented through the coalition of private companies, nonprofit, government organizations, and academic institutions working together to increase the public's understanding of cyber threats and empowering Americans to be safer and more secure online. And whereas the National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Workforce Framework has been developed as a free resource to help organize both large and small, public and private, improve their cybersecurity practices through a practical approach to addressing the ever-evolving cybersecurity threats and challenges. Whereas the federal government of the United States of America, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, the National Association of the State Chief Information Officers, and the National Cybersecurity Alliance all recognize October as National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and all citizens are encouraged to visit these websites, along with the Stop, Think, Connect campaign website, to learn about cybersecurity, to put that knowledge into practice in their homes, schools, workplace, and businesses. And whereas Public Act 102-0753 of Illinois now requires annual government employee cybersecurity training each year, now therefore, be it resolved, looks like we're a month early. Now, therefore, the McLean County Board issues this proclamation that McLean County government is officially supporting National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, October 2023, and resolves that the County Administration and Office of Information Technologies shall provide and conduct in the month of October 2023 cybersecurity training and education to be completed by all McLean County employees, elected officials, and regular users of the McLean County network before December 1st, 2023. And that is all of our proclamations. So moving on, we have item number 7, and this is request approval of a resolution of the McLean County Board to adopt supplemental and temporary rules for the election of chair of the McLean County Board. Is there a motion? Motion by Member Rogal, second. Second by Member Rosemond Mendoza. Any discussion? Member Klein.
Given the prior back and forth earlier in the meeting, I would like to just, if I could, Mr. Sierra, make sure that I'm clear. about what we're about to vote on. The text that we were provided states that the election of the temporary chair will be done by the plurality of those voting, which would be those who are present. Correct?
Yes.
Item 2 states that the chair shall be elected to complete the term of the vacated office, and a vote of a majority of the members of the board shall be required for the election of chair, which does not mean the majority of the members of the board present, but the majority of the members of the board. And this is not any different than the code as we currently have it.
That's correct.
Correct. Thank you.
Member Schaefer.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to amend these rules. On item number 2, I would like to change the word majority to plurality.
I'll second it.
So there's a motion by Member Schaefer, second by Member Sollner. Comments, questions? No discussion. Is a roll call vote requested?
Oh, you're fine. I need the exercise. Okay, a yes vote changes the wording for the motion.
So a yes vote is to amend.
Okay.
Yes.
Beverly Bell? I'm sorry, Beverly Bell?
Sometimes you hate me first, okay? I do not know what the word plurality means, and I'm not going to vote something that I know to mean plurality.
Member Bell would like clarification on plurality.
Point of order, can we do that at this point when we're voting?
I think we cannot.
Point of order, is there a time limit to vote? We look it up, we look it on Google and look it up, I mean, what's the? Yes.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, point of personal privilege. You mean tell me there's nobody that can just tell Ms. Bell what plurality means?
Yes. Why can't you just tell me that? She voted. I did not want to vote.
So it would mean a majority of the members present, not a majority of the entire board, which is what it stands as now.
No.
Okay, Beverly Bell is a no. Lindsay Bloomfield?
Yes.
Leah Klein?
No.
Chuck Erickson?
Yes.
William John Friedrich?
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston?
No.
Val Lehman?
No.
Catherine Metzger?
Yes.
Adam Reeves?
Yes.
Jim Rogal?
No.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza?
No.
Susan Schaefer?
Yes.
James Soldner?
Yes.
Jeff Tompkins?
Yes.
George Wendt?
Yes.
Crystal Abel?
No.
Corey Byrne?
No.
8 to 9.
So the amendment passes, and now the
Motion
motion is
passed.
still on the floor, and we must vote on it as amended. So a yes vote would accept the changes that have already been made, that it will be a plurality, which is the majority of the members present, rather than a majority of the members of the board. So a yes is in favor, and a no is against. We have not been requested for one, so all in favor?
Beverly Bell?
No.
Lindsay Bloomfield?
Yes.
Leah Klein?
No.
Chuck Erickson?
Yes.
William John Friedrich?
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston. Val Lehman. Catherine Metzger. Adam Reeves. Jim Rogal. Natalie Roseman Mendoza. Susan Schaefer. James Soldner. Jeff Tompkins. George Wendt. Crystal Abel.
No.
Corey Byrne.
No.
8 to 9. Motion passes.
So now we move to item 8, which is election of chair and vice chair if necessary pursuant to 55 ILCS 5/2-3009C. And this is election of the temporary chair of the county board, so item 8A. Is there a motion? I just asked again. So this is item 8A, which is election of the temporary chair of the county board. Is there a motion? Motion by member Soldner.
I'm sorry, are we voting for the temporary chair or just the chair of the election?
So we will be voting on the temporary chair right now. Was yours just a question or a motion to put it on the floor? Okay. Okay. So I've been informed that we can just open the floor. So as vice chair, as presiding officer, I now call for nominations for temporary chair of the county board.
Susan Schaefer. Second.
So there's a motion by Jim Soldner, second by Jeff Tompkins, to nominate Susan Schaefer. Any other nominations? Okay, so I will move, if I can get a movement to close nominations then?
I move to close the nomination.
Moved by Bill Friedrich, is there a second? Member Bloomfield. County Clerk, if you will please call the roll on the single nominee of Susan Schaefer. And this is a yes or a no vote for the nominee.
Beverly Bell. Lindsay Bloomfield.
Yes.
Leah Klein. No. Chuck Erickson.
Yes.
William John Friedrich.
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston.
No.
Val Lehman.
No.
Catherine Metzger. Adam Reeves. Jim Rogal. Natalie Roseman Mendoza. Susan Schaefer. James Soldner. Jeff Tompkins. George Wendt. Crystal Abel.
No.
Corey Byrne. 9 to 8. Motion passes.
Motion passes.
As temporary chair, I will entertain nominations for the position of McLean County Board Chair. Member Klein. A bunch of seconds here. Did you get who that was?
Corey Byrne.
Member Byrne, second. Are there any other nominations for chair of the county board? Member Erickson.
Am I allowed to say anything about the nomination? No. I am, I just said yes.
Yes.
I'm going to place in the nomination the name of Catherine Metzger. Catherine Metzger grew up on a farm. Her father farmed approximately 1,000 acres in Christian County. She has lived in McLean County for approximately 38 years. Her former husband was a fifth-generation McLean County resident. She's been a township supervisor for over 15 years. She was appointed to the board in May of 2014 and has over 9 years of experience, with 3 of those years as chairperson of the Finance Committee. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to nominate an experienced town supervisor and county board member, and I believe, and I hope the press reports it this way, that experience is the key consideration here. Experience. Key consideration is experience. I nominate Catherine Metzger as chairman of the McLean County Board.
I second it and move we close nomination.
Okay, seconded by Member Friedrich, and move to close the nominations. Do we have a second on that? By Member Bloomfield. And then now we have to vote to close the nomination. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Nominations are closed. There have been multiple members nominated. It is appropriate for each nominee the opportunity to briefly address the board in the order for which in which they were nominated. Member Johnston.
The last election that we had in 2022 resulted in a historic outcome. We have 10 Democrats and 10 Republicans that were elected for the first time to the board. Chairman McIntyre and I sought input from members and developed a partnership, agreeing to collectively compromise and distribute leadership roles and committee assignments so we could all collectively move forward and do the work of this county. The board elected John McIntyre as chair and me as vice chair, and since Chair McIntyre's resignation, I continue to believe in the principles that led to that partnership. We are in a position where I have worked very hard in the last 10 months with Chair McIntyre to learn the duties of the chair, to be mentored by him, and to understand what all comes with it. I did not take on the role of vice chair lightly. It is something that I have worked the entire time on the board to reach out, to collaborate, and to make sure that we are building stronger legislation and stronger programs to serve the residents. I have been honored to be in this position. I have been honored to work with people, and I have been honored to listen to them. I think that a lot of my skills bring to the chair the ability to network and to negotiate, to collaborate, and that is where we are because we are still an even board. Sitting here tonight and having Member Abraham denied his ability to represent District 6 and to have his place on the board and have his voice heard, I think that is a travesty. I think that is something that it's a disappointment to the community, and it's a disservice to District 6. I will continue to serve for the betterment of this county. I will continue to reach across the aisle. Thank you.
Member Metzger.
Thank you. As Member Erickson said, I'm a farm girl from Christian County, and I fell in love with a dairy farmer's son from McLean County while attending the University of Illinois in Urbana. Following graduation, I moved 38 years ago to McLean County, and my deceased husband and I bought a house and a small farm east of Carlock, and we raised 3 wonderful sons who attended St. Mary's Grade School and Normal Community High School, Normal Community West High School. We got up every morning, took care of the farm, went to work at State Farm for over 31 years, and became involved in our community. We paid our taxes and attended Mass every Sunday. I gained valuable business knowledge and expertise as a staff assistant and analyst at State Farm, and I apply these skills to my elected role as a White Oak Township supervisor for the past 15 years. 9 years ago, I was appointed and then re-elected several times to this board, representing District 1, proudly representing District 1, which encompasses all of northern McLean County and runs from Carlack 38 miles to Cropsey. I've been a member of most every board committee and have been chairperson for 3 years for the Finance Committee. My extensive knowledge of McLean County, my solid financial acumen, strong leadership background, substantial communication skills, including listening skills, extensive networking abilities, and outstanding analytical skills have prepared me for the McLean County Board Chairman position. I will apply my energy, honesty, work ethic, tenacity, and resiliency to this role every day for every citizen in McLean County, and I ask each member to consider me and vote for me. Thank you.
Temporary rules are in order at this time because we have more than one nominee. The following temporary rules shall be followed. Temporary rule number 1, members will be required to publicly voice their vote by stating the name of the nominee they support and instead of stating yes or no or present. And temporary rule 2 is the nominee receiving the votes of a majority of members present is elected. If one nominee is unable to obtain a majority of the votes, additional temporary rules may be in order. County Clerk, please call the roll, and the temporary chair will vote.
Beverly Bell.
I vote for Elizabeth Johnson.
Lindsay Bloomfield. Leah Klein.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Chuck Erickson.
Catherine Metzger.
William John Friedrich.
Catherine Metzger.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Val Lehman.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Catherine Metzger.
Catherine Metzger.
Adam Reeves.
Catherine Metzger.
Jim Rogal.
Johnston with a T.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza. Susan Schaefer.
Catherine Metzger.
James Olner.
Catherine Metzger.
Jeff Tompkins.
Catherine Metzger.
George Wendt.
Catherine Metzger.
Crystal Abel.
Elizabeth Johnson.
Corey Byrne.
Vote for Vice Chair Elizabeth Johnson.
9 for Member Metzger, 8 for Elizabeth Johnson.
So that means that Catherine Metzger is been elected chair by a vote of 9 to 8. Yeah, because we're done now, because Liz is still vice chair.
We're going to move on to the committees. We will start with the Standing Committee, Executive Committee, Vice Chair Elizabeth Johnston.
Thank you. Executive Committee brings item 9A, 1A, request to approve an amendment to the employment agreement between McLean County and County Administrator. Everyone should have the contract on their table. And I so move.
Is there a second? A second by Member Abel. Discussion, Member Erickson.
Yes, I would like to explain my vote before I cast it. I want to be clear. I want to be clear that this is not a vote against Cassie Taylor. My vote is not a statement about her job performance and should in no way be construed that way. It is also not a statement about whether she's entitled to a pay raise. I think she's been an exceptional county administrator. But my vote is basically a vote based on a concern of escalating salaries being paid in the field of professional administrators, especially in times such as these. I wanted to explain my vote. My vote should not in any way be construed, any way, shape, or form, that I have full confidence in Cassie Taylor as our county administrator. Thank you.
Member Solner. There is. I'm not sure if Administrator Taylor can provide additional insight to that, please.
There is money in the budget to cover the salaries, including the contract that you are approving tonight.
Vice Chair Johnston.
Amendments that is in, came on strong. One of the other amendments that is in this contract, in addition to the graduated pay raise over the next 3 years, is an extension by 2 months. I just want to make sure that people have had a chance to see that, that we are issuing a 14-month contract, and this one, every year subsequent, would be a 12-month. This is a one-time change to line it up at the request of Ms. Taylor.
Thank you for that clarification. Member Wendt. Is there a second to that motion? Is there a second to that motion? The motion dies. Member Johnston.
The point of clarification, the review was, for the majority of it, done by Chair McIntyre. The salary recommendation was done by Chair McIntyre, and he had requested a $35,000 raise in one go. However, in order to be fiscally responsible, the discussions were, as we had done before when we did the salary study for employees and broke it over 2 years, Ms. Taylor and I had discussed how we could break it up over 3 years for this adjustment. So that is what is being presented before you, and that does keep it in line. We have confirmation from Kathy Dreyer that this would be within our budget and it would not require any levy increase.
You would like to request the indulgence of the chair to explain my vote.
Member Tompkins, please.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to, while I wholeheartedly respect and admire my colleague, Mr. Chuck Erickson, I would like to call to the attention of my fellow board members the fact that Ms. Taylor's proposed salary is significantly less than that of paid to the Bloomington city manager, while at the same time covering a vastly greater distance and territory. Thank you.
Any additional discussion? Member Abel.
Yes, thank you. It's my understanding that this salary increase would put Administrator Taylor at a comparable level to other county administrators in the area. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And I also believe from what I've heard that everybody on this board that has spoken is in high favor of the work that Ms. Taylor has been doing for the county. I agree with that. And I would absolutely hate to see Administrator Taylor be poached or decide to go somewhere else. I believe that we should pay people fairly. I believe that we should pay people what they deserve, and I believe we should pay people what is right for the role that they're in, and I believe this negotiated salary is correct and appropriate. So I will be voting yes. Thank you.
Called question. All in favor of 9A, 1A, request approval of the amendment of employment agreement between McLean County and the county administrator, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
No.
1. Believe the motion passes. Thank you. Moving on, 9A, 1B. I'm sorry, that is you, Elizabeth. I apologize for that, Member Johnston.
Right. Next item I bring before the board is item 9A1B, is request approval of the chairman's recommendation on an appointment to County Board District 8. And I so move, as provided that Chair Metzger is in agreement with our candidate that we interviewed on Monday.
I do.
Thank you.
Do we have a second? We have a second by Member Klein. I was going to say your first name. I apologize. Member Klein. Discussion. Member Erickson.
Can I make a motion to table that to next month when we'll also be filling the appointment, I believe, of County District 5?
There is a motion then to table this until next month board meeting. And we have a second by Member Wendt. Member Klein.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I would strenuously object to this delay. We had a vacancy. We have followed the rules according to the county code. County code lays out 60 days. There are more than 16,000 tax-paying voters in District 8, my district, who deserve to have fair representation. You won the day. Please allow the representative to join me and to help take care of the needs of District 8. I think this is just bare partisanship at its worst, and I would hate to see a very deserving, smart, and capable representative be denied based on partisan games.
Member Schaefer.
As there was only one applicant, and I do believe we also have time restrictions on when that position needs to be filled, I would not support the amendment.
Member Byrne, I'm so sorry.
We on here? All right. I think members of this board have done enough to deny the citizens of McLean County equal representation. I think we need to move this forward.
Member Lehman. Oh, you did not. Oh, I'm so sorry. Member Erickson.
Thank you, Chairperson Metzger. You know, the vote for chairperson is a separate vote than this one. My vote for chairperson, although a lot of people are trying to spin this in a political way as to being about partisanship, was actually about experience. My motion on this one is actually about equal representation on the board. The people of District 5 elected a Republican. They would like a Republican to be on the board. And I think they ought to have equal representation. I can't see what is actually going to happen in a period of 1 month that's going to make such a difference that the issue could not be tabled. Thank you, Chairperson Metzger.
Member Bell.
Is this on? Yes. When I ran and I came before the board, I had no one challenging me. And it was a smooth process. It was done very quickly. And for have this person not be seated is a travesty. We're not bickering. We're bickering about things that really don't matter. We just need to move forward. I think there's enough hurt feelings in here tonight to last the rest of the year.
Member Johnston.
The motion tonight is about filling District 8 within the 60-day statute. We have time. We have opened for applications for District 5, and we will do that in due course. The delay, we've already lost representation on one meeting. This is about bringing somebody in to fully represent District 8 tonight, and District 5 will be on the docket next month.
Member Abel.
The law says that we have to fill this vacancy in 60 days. If you are someone that says you respect and value law and order, and that you believe in following the law, I believe that everyone on this board who believes that needs to vote yes and follow the law and appoint the candidate for District 8. Thank you.
How many days have elapsed since the resignation?
We will get that question answered momentarily.
My understanding is that the resignation of Member Biles was effective August 7th. If that is accurate, then 38 days would have elapsed from August 7th until today. You're welcome.
Member Klein.
If we do not fill the role today, will we exceed the 60 days before our next meeting as a board?
I believe that we would, yes.
Any other discussion? We will be voting on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment to table till next month, say aye. Roll call. Thank you. Chairperson will vote.
The amendment to table. Beverly Bell?
No.
Lindsay Bloomfield.
Yes.
Leah Klein.
No.
Chuck Erickson.
Yes.
William John Friedrich.
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston.
No.
Val Lehman.
No.
Catherine Metzger.
No.
Adam Reeves.
Yes.
Jim Rogal.
No.
Natalie Roseman Mendoza.
No.
Susan Schaefer.
No.
James Solner.
Yes.
Jeff Tompkins.
No.
George Wendt.
Yes.
Crystal Abel.
No.
Corey Byrne.
No.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 no.
Motion fails. We have the called question, so we will be voting on the 9A1B, and that is to appoint the County Board District 8 candidate. All in favor of the candidate, I believe, Eric Hansen, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Looks like 2 opposed. The motion passes. Eric Hansen has been elected to the position of County Board District 8. If he could please come forward and be seated.
I do, but no one's given me the, I didn't know about that. I thought I was supposed to swear in. Am I?
Congratulations, and member Hansen, we will swear you in at the end of the meeting.
Oh, no, sorry.
Care of that right now, but just give us a moment.
would you like to come up? Welcome to county government. Oh, we're good. Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Eric Hansen,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of McLean County Board
of the office of McLean County Board
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard. We're glad to have you. We are going to take a 10-minute recess before we move to the standing committees, the appointment of standing committees. You stay right here. I'd like to resume the meeting, and we will start when everyone is seated with 9A 1C.
Your B, finance.
No, we've got
Or, yeah, 9A1C.
C.
Yep, sorry.
Because we don't have a printer on site, we will not be distributing the new committees, the members of the committees, so I will announce those. We will then share them in an email. There will be very few changes. We will try to continue to maintain.
Hi, Chair Metzger. I'd like to make a motion to put it on the floor.
Thank you very much. So may I have a motion? We have a motion by Vice Chair Johnston and a second by Member Roseman Mendoza. Thank you very much. And so Executive Committee will be Catherine Metzger, Chair, Elizabeth Johnston, Vice Chair, Chuck Erickson, Susan Schaefer, Leah Klein, Val Lehman, Jim Rogal, and William Friedrich. Finance. The new chair is William Friedrich, Vice Chair Val Lehman, Chuck Erickson, Jim Solner, Jim Rogal, and Natalie Roseman Mendoza. Justice Committee. Chuck Erickson, Chair, Beverly Bell, Vice Chair, Susan Schaefer, Jack Henry Abraham, Natalie Roseman Mendoza, and Jeff Tompkins. Health Committee, Chair, Susan Schaefer, Elizabeth Johnston, Vice Chair, George Wendt, and Corey Byrne, and Eric Hansen. Property, Chair, Val Lehman, Vice Chair, Jim Solner, Lindsay Bloomfield, Corey Byrne, Jeff Tompkins, and Eric Hansen. Land Use and Development, Leah Klein, Chair, William Friedrich, Vice Chair, George Wendt, Beverly Bell, Crystal Abel, Adam Reeves. Transportation, Jim Rogal, Chair, Jim Solner, Vice Chair, Lindsay Bloomfield, Crystal Abel, Jack Abraham, Adam Reeves. Rules Subcommittee, Elizabeth Johnston, Chair, Chuck Erickson, Vice Chair, Jim Solner, George Wendt, Leah Klein, Val Lehman. Legislative Subcommittee, Jim Solner, Chair, Jim Rogal, Vice Chair, George Wendt, Crystal Abel, Natalie Roseman Mendoza, and Jeff Tompkins. Liquor Commission, Catherine Metzger, Chair, Beverly Bell, Vice Chair, William Friedrich, Jack Abraham, and Adam Reeves. May I have a motion? Yes, please. Certainly. I called a recess.
is your change, okay?
I would like to resume the meeting. We had a brief conversation. We wanted to make sure there wasn't any conflicts of interest. Seeing that there was a little question, property committee will change. So Val Lehman, chair, Jim Solner, vice chair, Lindsay Bloomfield, Corey Byrne, Jeff Tompkins, and Beverly Bell. Land use, Leah Klein, chair, William Friedrich, vice chair, George Wendt, Eric Hansen, Crystal Abel, and Adam Reeves. Those are the only other changes. Everything else remains the same. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the committees as they were verbally provided, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to the Finance Committee.
Do I not?
Vice Chair Lehman, you have Finance.
Point of order, should I defer to the new Finance Chair for this?
You know, that probably is true. So, Member Friedrich.
Thank you, Chairman. Finance Committee brings one item 9B, 1A, request approval of an ordinance by the McLean County Board amending Chapter 116, Purchase and Contracting of the McLean County Code, and I so move.
Is there a second? We have a second by Member Lehman. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Finance Committee has no other items before the board, and our general report can be found in the minutes. Thank you, Chair.
Health Committee, 9C, Member Schaefer, Chair Schaefer.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Health Committee has one item for action. 9C1A is request approval of an ordinance, McLean County Board amending the 2023 Combined Appropriation and Budget Ordinance for Fund 107, and I so move.
Is there a second? We have a second by Member Wendt. Discussion? All in favor of 9C1A, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, and our general report can be found on pages 24 through 27 of the unapproved minutes packet.
Thank you very much. 9D, Justice Committee, Chuck Erickson, Chair. Thank you. We'll move on to Property, 9E, Chairperson Val Lehman. Is there a second? We have a second by Vice Chair Johnston. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The Property Committee has no items to be presented for action this evening. Our general report can be found in pages number 28 to 30 of the unapproved minutes packet.
Thank you very much. 9F, Land Use and Development Committee, Chair Leah Klein.
Thank you, Chairwoman. The Land Use and Development Committee has no items to be presented for action. Our general report, or information about our meetings can be found in the general report. Excuse me.
Thank you very much. 9G, Transportation Committee, Chair Jim Rogow.
Yes, the Transportation Committee has a few items for action tonight. 9G1A, request approval of updates to county ordinance imposing weight limitations, and I so move.
Is there a second? Member Reeves, second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Next up, we have 9G1B, request approval of an amendment to the McLean County Code to permit installation of automatic license plate readers on county right-of-ways. This addresses the issue that we had a few months ago with the town of Leroy. This puts it into our ordinance and makes it for everyone. So, and I so move.
Is there a second? We have a second by Member Schaefer. Discussion. Member Solner.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. First, my apologies to Committee Chairman Rogal for not talking to him, or at least informing him of this before the meeting. I'm gonna oppose this item only because I sat through the executive committee meeting, and although there was a solution on making sure that the full board was aware that this was happening, or if there were reasons to take those cameras away, or for at least opportunities from towns if they violated the agreement. And I talked to Jerry just a few minutes ago, and he doesn't have a problem with it, but I'd rather us do like we did for Leroy, have them apply to the Transportation Committee, bring it to the full board, at least for the next month or so, to see how it works. I want to make sure that, again, in the agreement, they agree to not use it for petty or speed tickets or fines, but there's also still something in there about the 10 days notice they can decide to do that. And I know that at least at Leroy, their technology provider says that they can't do it, but I would just feel more comfortable if the full board had an opportunity to make a decision. So I'm opposed. Thank you.
Member Wendt.
Yeah, I agree with Jim. I would like to make a motion to move this to the next meeting so that we have time to review it. The vote is tonight, and we're voting against that. There's too many cameras out there. And like you said, they have 10 days to change that so that they can use it for speed and whatever they want to. And I think we've got a situation, we've got too many cameras out there spying on us. And I think we ought to rethink it.
So are you making that a motion, or is that a comment that how you're going to vote? You wanted that to be a motion? Member Wendt. Member Wendt, you wanted that as a motion, is that correct? Is there a second to that motion?
Motion to table.
Motion is to table until next month? Is there a second? We have a second by Member Tompkins. All in favor of tabling this? Roll call vote. All in favor, or excuse me, roll call for tabling the 9G1B. Roll call.
Beverly Bell.
No.
Lindsay Bloomfield.
No.
Leah Klein.
No.
Chuck Erickson.
No.
William John Friedrich.
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston.
No.
Val Lehman.
No.
Catherine Metzger.
Not voting.
Pardon? Not voting. Adam Reeves.
Yes.
That's a yes. Jim Rogal.
No.
No. Natalie Roseman Mendoza.
No.
Susan Schaefer.
No.
James Soldner.
Yes.
Jeff Tompkins.
Yes.
George Wendt.
Yes.
Crystal Abel.
No.
Jack Abraham. I apologize, he's absent. Corey Byrne.
No.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And our newest member, not on the list, Eric Hansen.
No.
Thank you, Eric. Sorry about that. Thanks. Okay, a no there.
Motion fails. It was
1, 2.
12. Pardon me? 12-5, motion fails, so we'll go back to the original amendment. Member Johnston.
Sheriff Lane here earlier, so if people had questions about the usefulness of these cameras, they are not going to be used for petty offenses. But I know that they've been instrumental in resolving crimes and catching criminals. So if he is still here, I would encourage him to come speak to any questions that the board might have about use of these cameras.
He is not here at the present time.
He was out in the hallway. Yeah, he's out in the hallway.
I'm not sure that there's going to be a lot of concern. I appreciate that, but we've like to move the meeting along. Call to question, but prior to that, we had Member Erickson.
No, I just wanted to say that the reason I sought that amendment at the executive committee was I wanted to make that ordinance conform with what we did with the city of Leroy. It just seemed to me, why should Leroy have a different set of rules than the other municipalities in McLean County? So, I would have liked to have gone for the county board, but still, if it goes to transportation, some county board member ought to know what's going on, and they ought to be able to address it with other county board members in case it was an issue. So, while I do have my concerns, I think that sending it to the oversight committee will at least help with that.
Thank you. And we had called a question. All in favor of 9G 1B, and that's the amendment to the code for the right-of-way for license plate readers, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 4 opposed. Motion passes. Member Rogel.
Yes, we have also another item that we brought off of the consent agenda, 9G1. This would become C, and I would like to table that for another time.
So motion is to table. We have a second by Member Friedrich. Any discussion? Table to
Indefinitely.
indefinite. An indefinite time. All right. Any discussion? All in favor of 9G1C, say aye. Table.
Aye.
Opposed? That item is tabled indefinitely.
That's all we have for action tonight. Our general report can be found on pages 2 through 4 of the unapproved minutes.
Thank you very much, Chair. We have 9H, County Administrator Cassie Taylor.
Thank you, Chair Metzger. I have no items to be presented for action this evening, but I do have a significant item to be presented for information, and that is the presentation of our fiscal year 2024 recommended budget and 5-year capital improvement plan. You have materials before you that relate to this information item. And I have an address to share with you. To members of the McLean County Board and our citizens of McLean County, I respectfully submit the recommended budget for fiscal year 2024, developed in agreement with the county's strong position of stewardship of tax resources and in compliance with state law in our county budget resolution. It is a balanced budget. The recommended budget is based upon a 0.91064 property tax rate. This is the same tax rate utilized for fiscal year 2023 budget. The all funds budget totals $146,743,871 and provides funding for 821 full-time positions. The general fund budget totals $51,865,394 and supports 503 positions. The recommended budget is aligned with the county board's principles of sound financial management, quality county workforce, and strong community partnerships. We are growing a better McLean County with the commitment to invest in our infrastructure by strengthening our transportation and recreation opportunities and by recognizing the efforts of our incredible workforce. Revenue growth in this year's budget allows us to balance multiple obligations, investing in targeted integrated software for public safety needs, addressing critical infrastructure needs, improving department workspace and storage, and addressing employee compensation. American Rescue Plan Act funding accounted for $8,303,502 of the revenue increase. Increases to property values brought an additional $5,690,592, and state use taxes increased $3,215,836. Intergovernmental revenues account for the remainder of the increase. The county's financial stewardship is recognized in our AA1 rating by Moody's Investor Service. The county benefits from a growing tax base with a slightly above average resident income, healthy financial position, modest debt burden, and moderate pension burden. The county's strong financial position is further affirmed with a sufficient general fund reserve. As of our last audit, the general fund balance of $25,364,772 meets with the McLean County budget policy target and is congruent with recommended practices by the Government Finance Officers Association. We have faced challenges. This year we have weathered supply chain disruptions and increases in costs for goods and services, and anticipate experiencing the same in 2024. Large machinery, highway department vehicles, and squad cars have all had anticipated delivery dates delayed, and in some instances, desired equipment and vehicles were simply unavailable. These delays increase concerns about the ability to deliver services to the public. Department heads have been encouraged to alter purchase patterns accordingly for assets such as vehicles in anticipation of these delays. Moreover, additional group purchasing agreements have been sought to increase our vendor resource pool and expand our bid exposure. Success with these strategies to date provide encouragement that these efforts will continue to be successful in 2024. Great efforts were made in 2023 to attract and retain employees, and we have succeeded in increasing our full-time staffing from 804 full-time employees to 821, filling many vacancies. Despite these efforts, certain licensed positions have continued to experience vacancies due to the statewide need for people outpacing the available market and frequent fluctuations in market-level compensation scales. Our response to recruitment challenges for these positions, as well as overall county employment, is included in this budget proposal. A recent needs assessment conducted by the Illinois Center for Specialized Professional Support noted that McLean County workforce is looking for new job opportunities based on compensation, benefits, and job flexibility. In addition to increased investment in salaries, administration is reviewing personnel policies with suggestions based on employee feedback and with specific attention to areas referenced in the study. The Illinois Safety, Accountability, Fairness, and Equity Today, also known as the Safety Act, which eliminated the use of cash bail and adopted other criminal justice reforms, was passed into law and set to take effect on January 1 of 2023. On December 31st of 2022, the Illinois Supreme Court issued an order staying the Act's provisions pending the outcome of an appeal. On July 18th of this year, the Illinois Supreme Court issued their opinion with the ruling that the provisions of the Act are to be implemented on September 18th of 2023, in just a few days. The Circuit Court of the 11th Judicial Circuit and the McLean County Criminal Justice Partners worked extensively in 2022 to prepare for the changes and the adoption of the Safety Act. The FY 2023 budget adopted increased staffing for the state's attorney and public defender to respond to mandates of the act and allocated additional training and equipment costs for the sheriff's department. With the delay in adoption of the Safety Act, we are moving into the fourth quarter of 2023 with no data on true costs of implementation. Anticipated changes in revenues and costs related to this act will continue to be monitored in 2024 in efforts to create realistic budgetary projections in future years. As stated in previous years, the degree to which departments adhere to budgeted spending plans will play an important role in keeping the county's budget balanced in a manner that does not require inflated spending or budget reductions in the future. We are investing in our workforce. The labor crisis has been felt across the entire county. Our employees are the heart of our county's future and continue to be a priority investment. They are our guardians, caregivers, and stewards. In response to the needs of the county's greatest resource, this budget proposal includes a $4,383,097 increase to employee salaries for 2024. In 2023, the County Board approved a comprehensive compensation and classification study, which recommended a compensation adjustment to be addressed across 2 budget cycles, FY 2023 and FY 2024. In the first year of the adjustment, salary ranges were restructured to allow for a minimum of a 5% increase from their current ranges. This allowed for more earning potential for our highest performers and employees with the most longevity and placed all positions within current market range. For the second year of the compensation adjustment, the recommended focus moves to hybrid parity increases based on an employee's time with the county and time in their position. A merit increase through annual employee performance evaluation is also included in this year's budget recommendation. We are investing in our infrastructure. As the county continues its focus in addressing deferred maintenance to mechanical systems and building repairs, we also recognize the need for investment in new building infrastructure projects. The recommended budget includes $30,891,929 in capital improvement projects in FY24. American Rescue Plan Act funding provides for $9.7 million of that infrastructure improvement and includes $1 million for septic systems at the new animal control building and $2 million in funding for renovations to the Fairview building. In addition to the FY24 budget funding, the county has developed a 5-year capital improvement plan, also called the CIP, which you have in front of you. It addresses years 2024 through 2028. This plan includes the design and implementation of 130 projects and will provide for key improvements to sustain our current quality of service and support the county moving forward in the future. We are investing in our quality of life. We are proud of the vibrant communities across McLean County and recognize that investing in our natural spaces and cultural anchors enhances the quality of life for all citizens. We have included projects in our 5-year capital improvement plan to continue upgrades to our award-winning McLean County Museum of History, the focal point of downtown Bloomington. We support increased opportunities for residents to stay active and connected and continue to seek grant funding and collaborate with community partners for expansion and enhancement of the historic Route 66 bike pedestrian trail. The completion of this 47.2-mile trail would connect communities from Chenoa to McLean and thread through the Constitution Trail. A separate bike pedestrian path will address safety concerns and also provide positive economic impact for our smaller communities along the Route 66 National Scenic Byway. In this proposal, we have included upgrades to Kamlara Park, a treasure of McLean County, to expand pontoon slips, update playground equipment, and add rental dock spaces to encourage connection to our county's rich natural resource. Our environmental stewardship also includes methods to reduce our energy consumption and invest in new partnerships and technologies that provide greater efficiencies and cleaner communities. The proposed budget includes lighting upgrades, building automation system upgrades, and water system projects. McLean County continues to be a leader in addressing local behavioral health needs, prioritizing the mental health of our residents through intergovernmental support from the City of Bloomington and Town of Normal. Efforts to expand programming for justice-involved mental health was stymied during the pandemic and associated safety measures that had to be imposed. Renewed efforts through Behavioral Health Coordinating Council work groups in 2023 have established expanded plans for psychiatric services, additional mental health nursing, expanded medication-assisted treatment, and outreach programming for reentry services. The budget includes $1,275,322 in justice-involved mental health funding, an increase of $717,000 over the previous year. Funding for community mental health initiatives total $4,070,926, an increase of $324,538 over last year, and includes a grant writer, expanded services to high-need frequent utilizers, data analysis work through the Illinois State University Stevenson Center, and mental health legal consultants, along with additional recommendations from the Mental Health Action Plan through the BHCC. And finally, my acknowledgments. In December of 2023, the board ushered in equitable leadership, embraced 21st century solutions, and continued the longstanding commitment to provide vital community services. Developing the annual budget entails the collective work of numerous county employees. I thank the elected officials, department heads, office managers, and interns for the collaboration in creating a structurally sound budget and for keeping to the timeline in the budget process. Special thanks to Assistant County Administrators Kathy Dreyer and Tony Grant for their assistance and expertise in developing the county budget and capital improvement plan, respectively. And to Julie Morlock and Kyle Mueller for being responsible for the printing and distribution of the budget documents you have before you. The leadership of John McIntyre, who recently stepped down as the county board chair, was instrumental in the development and success of many of the plans in this budget. In the past 7 years as chair of the board, he succeeded in encouraging economic success to this county, promoted good government through bipartisan initiatives, and coached many staff and colleagues to accomplish great things and grow a better McLean County. Coach Mack, thank you for your service and friendship. I will remember that not everything that counts can be counted. Guided by our priorities established by this board, this recommended budget sustains the ambitious work underway across multiple county departments and strengthens the county workforce as it serves the public. Members of the McLean County Board, I am pleased to present the FY24 recommended budget to you for your consideration and review. I respectfully request the recommended budget, the 5-year capital improvement plan, and the 2023 combined property tax levy be referred to the appropriate oversight committees for review, and that the FY24 recommended budget be laid on the table for public review and comment. Thank you.
Any comments? Member Wendt.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to know what we're projecting as our gross income next year versus what we have received this year.
You put him up to
what we're projecting.
How much of an increase in our gross income, our gross revenues for the county? Let me get my notes.
The reason I asked this is many of the townships got a multiplier from the state. For instance, our township was 13%, Randolph was 9%. So right there, you're going to get a 13% increase in the actual tax. And Randolph will get a 9% increase in it. So I mean, these are fairly substantial increases, along with the fact that real estate values have gone up. So I'm thinking that maybe we should be able to actually lower that rate rather than keep it the same. So I'd like to know the difference between what we're projecting in income from this year versus next year.
The total projected revenues are up 15%. 15%.
15% increase.
In our revenues.
That's a, so we're going to spend 15% more. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Just want to know that.
Mhm.
Any other comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to 10, appearances of members of the public and in county employees in reference to an item not on the agenda. Do we have any?
We've had no requests to speak for number 10.
All right, we're going to move on to 11, and that's other business and communications. Does anybody have any? Looks like Member Schaefer.
This will be my last time I say this year. I just want to make everyone aware of the Community Mental Health Forum, which is our 6th one. It will be on Thursday, October 19th. Well, I guess I could say this next month too, probably. However, there's free lunch and there's free parking. In order to get free lunch, you must register by October 9th. There's QR codes, there's Facebook posts under Behavioral Health Coordinating Council on how to do that, and I believe it's also on our website. So I encourage everyone to attend if they have time, or actually you could attend part of the day if that's all you have. Many different topics of interest to, you'll find something for everyone in the community, and to help educate and make people aware of some of the activities that are going on, and how to cope with some things and stuff like that. Our keynote speaker is from the University of Illinois, who is going to be speaking on trauma after disasters, the trauma of disasters. So I think that's going to be really interesting to hear that, because she's an expert in that area. So October 19th. Thank you.
Vice Chair Johnston.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think given the health proclamations and the extremely large turnout we had for Hunger Action Month proclamation, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Health Department is working with community partners to have a McLean County Hunger Walk this Saturday. It is 9 a.m. It is a sign up when you arrive. It is free, and that will be at Tipton Trails on GE Road, Saturday the 16th at 9 a.m. They do ask that you wear orange to recognize this month as Hunger Action Month, and that participants, as their not official entry fee, but to bring a shelf-stable good to contribute to those in McLean County. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much for that announcement. Anything else? I do have one item. On Tuesday, September 5th, notification of Chairman McIntyre's resignation from the board was sent out to fellow board members, the media, and political party leaders. Today, I would like to publicly announce his resignation and timeline for his replacement. On Tuesday, September 5th, Chairman McIntyre provided notice of his resignation effective immediately. His resignation creates a vacancy in the position of County Board Member for District 5. Pursuant to McLean County Code, Section 20-10H, I am fixing the date upon which the appointment will be made to fill that vacancy as October 12th, 2023. Also, in pursuant to the McLean County Code, written applications and resumes of those seeking appointment must be submitted to the County Administrator's Office by noon on Thursday, October 5th, 2023. Applications must be signed by the applicants. All eligible applicants will be interviewed by the Executive Committee at its regular meeting scheduled to begin at 4 p.m. on Monday, October 9th, 2023. That is the final communication, and I believe tonight we are adjourned.